So we're in the car and my wife and I were in the front seats and Libby was sitting next to one of her brothers. And they were fighting as they usually do and bickering. And our child said to Libby, it doesn't matter because you're going to be dead soon anyway.
All those days watching from the windows, all those years outside looking in.
And then we were at our friend, this paediatrician, for lunch. So she's lethargic, she's really not herself, viral symptoms. He's like, don't like the look of her. So I want you to go for a scan tomorrow.
And its world has somehow shifted.
The sonographer starts ultrasounding. He goes, okay, come with me. So we go into a room with him. He goes, I'm telling you right now, your life is about to be turned upside down. Your child has neuroblastoma. He diagnosed her on the spot.
And when they were telling us it's stage 4, it's high risk neuroblastoma, I think they mentioned it was a 10% chance of survival.
So we're like, okay. It was in her bone marrow, it was wrapped around her vena cava. So she had 8 rounds of chemotherapy, surgery, bone marrow transplant, radiation and immunotherapy. She responded beautifully to everything. The tumour reduced by half, and then when they went to remove it, there was only about, I don't know, about that much left of it. You want to know something worse than finding out your kid has cancer? Finding out she's got cancer for the second time. I get a phone call from the oncologist. She said, this is not the phone call I wanted to have with you. She has a tumour at the front of her head. She's got a brain tumour, the size of a golf ball at the front of her brain. I open my car door and I throw up on the floor.
All those days chasing down a daydream, all those years living in a blur. And I think we knew at that point, you know, we're on the next level of seriousness. If stage 4 neuroblastoma, bone marrow, everything wasn't enough, I think, you know, in the brain. And the chances of survival were even slimmer. And I think even that conversation, they were telling us, oh, you can go home and...
She had a brain tumour removed on the Friday night. It was very scary for the kids. She's got a scar from here to here now. You can't see it, it's under her beautiful hair, which has grown back for the 3rd time.
Within a week, Shani was on an aeroplane with Libby and they went straight into radiation in Sloan Kettering.
I landed here on the Thursday. We met with the doctors on the Friday. She started 3 weeks of radiation on the Monday.
Daddy! Daddy!
When you have a child who is sick, I think there's a lot of things you do differently. You eat more takeout because you can't possibly come home from hospital and have food ready for the kids. So there's the cost of food, nannies, babysitters, petrol and parking, rent, medical insurance, essentially losing my business in Australia, coming here and trying to reset our lives and start again. The cost in real terms for us could easily be $500,000.
We needed insurance.
We spoke to the hospital and as an international patient, they wanted something like $1.4 million US in a bank account up front before they'd even treat us in the door. We heard about RCCS.
They kept phoning me. They really wanted to help us. I was just too busy with emergency things.
And I love you.
Eventually I gave them the time of day, which I'm glad I did.
It was almost immediate assistance. They told us, this is what we can do for you, and it's here for you. You don't even have to ask, just tell us where to send the checks.
And they offered us housing support, so to help pay our rent.
Plus the toys, the drives, even just my boys going on television a couple of months ago. That made them feel important when all the focus was on Libby. Okay. People realise that they're part of the Libby story as well. As a parent with a sick child, you don't really know what you need. We've never done cancer before, especially with a child. RCCS has been doing this for so long that they know what you need. I didn't know I needed it. I thought I'd just make do like we did in Australia, but it was just a godsend.
It's all so clear. I'm where I meant to be.
She'd had 2 surgeries. She was still recovering from chemotherapy. She'd had multiple platelet transfusions and she was 3.5.
RCCS gave this to us.
She's been cancer-free since November 2016. They still have her on a very strict scanning protocol because they're still concerned it's going to come back. Libby is an anomaly. The fact that she's still here is miraculous.
She feels like painting. We have no say. She decides when to start, when to stop. It's purely from a soul. Oh, excuse me. The funding that's come through has touched us. It's made a difference on the ground. It's allowed us to focus on our family and on other children and take away so much struggle. You could not be giving it to a better organisation.
Without RCCS, we would not be able to be here and give Libby the services that she truly needs, and we're forever grateful.
All at once, everything looks different now that